one time in the field, he was like, we're like, okay, we're just gonna, all the way up. I was like,
everybody take a knee.
yes.
Can you do a 1, 2, 3?
I'm sorry?
Did you say 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3.
Cool.
Is that good enough? Like loud enough or okay?
Yeah, that's good.
I have that issue too where I'm soft-spoken, so.
It's all good. We won't leave you hanging on this. We'll give you the questions, and you'll just look in this general direction. If you want to look at him, you're more than welcome to,
Okay.
you know, if there's anything that you guys gotta check, or if I ask
No,
something
you're
that's
good,
like, can't answer that, but
No, that's not why I'm here. I'm here more for his comfort. Just 'cause
fair enough, fair
it's a
enough.
familiar face. But I can also kill the lights back here. They're separate. That will make it better for y'all as well.
I'm curious what it looks like.
We've got this one. And turn that back on. We got this guy.
I kind of like that. I don't know if it makes a difference, honestly.
We can keep it like this. You
Like
got
that?
Yeah, we could. I'll just turn my light on over there so it can light up the right side. That's fine.
Yeah, last time I did
We
lighting,
good?
video and audio was 2019. It's been a few years. Cool.
I think I'm set.
All right. And then, I know I'm in the back here, but you will look in this general direction.
'Kay.
It's just gonna help for you to not stare right into the cameras and look into people's souls when you watch it back. That's what I tell people.
There you go, like that. Don't
So-
blink.
Right, right. At the end, I give you a chance to say anything that you think we missed or we didn't talk enough about. Of course, they'll jump in if they have anything, but I think it should be pretty straightforward. And then, once we're done in English, I will try to ask the exact same question, and then we'll have you answer in Spanish.
Okay.
Because again, I understand quicker than I can speak.
Gotcha. I'll try to remember my answer the best I can in Spanish.
You're good. You're
That
good.
way they don't air it and it's like, well, he said this. No, he said this. I'm nervous about a whole bunch of stuff.
No, you're good.
So-
You're good. All right, we're all good?
Yep.
All right, we're all recording audio, video. First
Okay.
question's real simple. If you can just say and spell your first and last name and your title here.
Okay. My name is Daniel Lozano. First name is spelled Daniel, last name Lozano. And I'm going to be a deputy here at Harris County Constables Precinct 8.
And how long have you been here?
About 2.5 years.
Okay. If you could, for me, to the best of your recollection, walk us through what happened and when it happened.
Okay, so on December 19th, at approximately a couple minutes after 1 a.m., I was driving on Gulf Freeway southbound after the Beltway. I was on my way to go back up a fellow deputy who was on a traffic stop when I all of a sudden came across a SUV that looked to be flipped over. It was on its side, on its passenger side, and it was facing westbound in the southbound lanes. Came to a stop. It was in the middle of lanes 2 and 3. Turned on my lights to block the lanes. Cars are still flying by. I get out. I let my dispatch know what's going on. Walk up, and that's when I see the vehicle's on fire. I can see the flames are coming out of the engine compartment, and they're starting to go into the passenger compartment through the dash. I walk up to the vehicle. I look inside the windshield. That's when I see the sole occupant, a female, Hispanic female, who's she's basically on the passenger window. Looked like she was unconscious at first, but I'm not sure. I shine my flashlight in. That's when she started screaming. Try to get her attention, see if she could react. She starts screaming. I knock on the window. I'm trying to break it to get her out because I see the flames. It won't break. Have to hit it a couple more times, and that's when I finally managed to smash the window open with my baton. I tell her to get down. She screams, pops up, and I tell her to hold on to me, and I pull her out of the burning vehicle. After that, an off-duty precinct 1 deputy, he arrives to help me out. Basically, she starts screaming, saying that there's another person inside the vehicle. So we both start looking. We can't find anybody, and eventually I just go grab my fire extinguisher, try to put out the fire. It's not enough, so we have to wait for the fire department to get there. We move her to a safe location. At that time, there's other units on scene. By the time the fire department gets there, the vehicle is already completely engulfed in flames. So it happened pretty fast, but I managed to get her out on time, and I'm glad I did.
Was there a second person in the car?
No, we weren't able to find any second person in the vehicle or any signs that anyone else being in there.
So everybody, the sole occupant made it out alive, and that was the only person that we know was in the car.
Yes, that's the only person that we know was in the vehicle.
What are you thinking when you oh my gosh, this car is on fire.
My first thought walking up was, well, making sure, doing my scene size up, looking around, seeing, are there any other vehicles involved? Is somebody already outside the vehicles, or is there somebody else still inside? And then I see it's on fire. Well, I got to make sure, is someone inside? If they are, I need to get them out right now before the fire spreads. So my main objective was just get there, and if someone's inside, get them out.
And when you realized someone was in that car, I'm sure you just, like, I imagine my heart would start racing of, okay, what do I need to do to get them to safety?
Yeah, so my adrenaline started pumping. I could feel it, but I just started moving and doing what I needed to do to get her out. I wasn't necessarily thinking, but I was doing whatever I needed to do.
When you realized that, the actions you took in that moment very clearly saved a life, and that everybody in that situation, in that particular vehicle, made it out alive because of the quick actions, do you get a second to be able to step back and realize what you were able to help them with?
Yeah, so initially, I'm just glad I got them out, but I think about it and I'm like, well, God put me there at the right place, right time for a reason, and that reason was to be able to get this woman to safety, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for Him putting me there, for giving me the strength to get her out and the courage to focus on what I needed to do in that moment.
And I don't think it's lost on anyone that it's right before the holidays that you're able to help her get out of there.
Right, of course. I did, and she had told me something on scene about losing somebody recently, and I'm just glad that family doesn't have to go through another burial or funeral here before the holidays.
I know obviously there's questions about what caused the crash, if there's any underlying factors, but you guys said at this point that's beyond the precinct 8's office, correct?
Right. So whenever we get there, I actually managed to play back the video, and I heard the Houston Police Department did get dispatched to this crash. So they were the ones that the investigation was turned over to, and they're the ones that are primary on the investigation for everything else in the crash.
I know I've asked a lot of questions. You guys want to jump in?
I'm curious, did you have any training to help inform you on what you should do? Did you default to your training, or was it entirely instinctual, especially in class and helping her out?
So there was some of it that was training. We had been told before, instructed through the academy and through other side training. These are things that you can do to break windows, to get people out, and stuff like that. Also the use of the fire extinguisher. But a lot of it was instinctual because I just saw, I wasn't thinking, I reacted. I needed to do what I needed to do, and my first thought was, oh, well, I have my baton, I can break the window with that. So that's what I went to do.
I would say, what would you tell someone that's in a situation, if their car is, on fire or in a situation to where they can maybe not get out or they can escape some kind of way? What would you say?
What I would say, something that would be very helpful is for, drivers obviously to have something that they could use. They could buy certain things that they could use to break windows, and try their best. If they can't cut the seatbelt or if they can't get it off, there's always got to be something where you can cut the seatbelt, try to push the door open if you can't, and try to smash the windshield out. And if you can't do that, try to break the window out. There's all sorts of devices that people sell. There's some pens that have pointed tips that you can use to break windows as well. Just try to hit it in one of the corners, and that makes it easier to break often.
Forgive me if you already mentioned this. Did the car crash into something? How did it catch fire? Do we know?
At this point, I do not know. I'm not sure what happened with the crash. All I know is what I saw.
This is very raw. This is only a couple days after everything has taken place. But for you to be able, like you said, to look back and say the training and the instincts taking over was able to help potentially prevent this family from having that second burial and funeral. What would you like that family to hear from you if they're watching this?
All I would like them to hear is, I hope everything is doing good. I hope she's okay, and I hope they have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and that God blesses them deeply, and that, hopefully this is a learning experience for everybody involved, on things that could be done, and things that maybe could not be done, But
For people calling you a hero?
I don't know how to feel about that. All I know is I did what I had to do. If they want to call me a hero, then by all means, but like I said, I think that what I did was instinctual and because God put me there, right place, right time. It's all thanks to God.
Anything else, guys? Anything, Ryan, that you want to ask? Anything you guys think we missed? We'll go through this one more time, just in Spanish, but anything on this portion?
Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah.
Not that I can think of.
We're gonna do our best to run through those same questions again.
Mhm.
And if you could this time, even though we're asking in English, if you don't mind just responding in Spanish.
Mhm.
So, if you don't mind, we'll just literally start with the same first question of like name and title.
Okay. So, mi nombre es, soy el oficial Daniel Lozano con la oficina del constable del precinto 8. Mi nombre se escribe Daniel. Mi apellido es Lozano.
So if you could tell us what happened when it happened.
Okay, so el viernes 19 de diciembre, aproximadamente unos minutos después de la 1 de la madrugada, yo iba manejando hacia el sur, en el 45, pasando al 8, en la zona sur de la ciudad de Houston. Iba en camino para ir a respaldar a uno de mis compañeros en una parada de tráfico cuando observé a un vehículo, era una camioneta que estaba volteada en su lado de pasajero, bloqueando los carriles números 2 y 3 del 45 en dirección sur. Me paré, activé las luces de emergencia en mi patrulla, vehículos siguieron pasando a alta velocidad, pero avisé a mi despacho, así pudieran empezar a mandar respaldo y otros tipos de respondedores como los bomberos. Y me bajé. En ese momento empecé a acercarme al vehículo. Ahí observé que estaba encendido en llamas. Veía las llamas que estaban saliendo del compartimiento del motor y también estaban entrando adentro del compartimiento de pasajero. Me acerqué al vidrio de enfrente y es cuando observé a una muchacha que estaba abajo. Estaba, haz de cuenta, sentada en el vidrio que era del lado del pasajero. Traté de ver si reaccionara, no sabía si estaba inconsciente o no. Cuando le puse la luz en la cara, ahí es cuando empezó a reaccionar y empezó a gritar. Empecé a golpear el vidrio del lado del conductor para ver si podía reaccionar o pararse o hacer algo para abrir la puerta. No podía abrir la puerta a ella, entonces tuve que en ese momento entrar en acción. Agarré mi bastón o mi palo que es para impacto. Traté de romper el vidrio, no funcionó inicialmente hasta que lo pude extender y ahí le di al vidrio. Le di instrucciones que se bajara, se rompió el vidrio, lo empujé para adentro. Ella se paró y le pregunté que si podía salir, dijo que no podía, entonces le dije que pusiera sus brazos alrededor de mi cuello y la saqué del vehículo que estaba en llamas. Después de eso llegó otro oficial del precinto 1 que estaba fuera de servicio, iba en camino a su casa y él me empezó a ayudar a ver si había alguien más adentro del vehículo, porque la muchacha empezó a decir que había otra persona. No pudimos encontrar ninguna evidencia de que había otra persona dentro del vehículo y no encontramos a ninguna otra persona. Después de eso fui y conseguí agarré mi extinguidor de llamas de mi patrulla y usé eso para tratar de apagar las llamas. No funcionó, entonces lo que hicimos mejor fue alejarnos del vehículo mientras llegaban los bomberos. Ya que llegaron los bomberos del departamento de Houston, entonces ellos pudieron apagar las llamas.
So I was doing my best to interpret, but at the end there you were talking about how HPD's in charge of it because they were at scene now, or what did I?
Estaba diciendo que el departamento de bomberos de Houston llegó para apagar las llamas, pero después el departamento de policía de Houston, ellos fueron los que recibieron la llamada inicial del 911. Ellos son los que llegaron a la escena y la investigación se fue entregada a ellos en ese punto en adelante.
And when you went up to the car, you noticed it was on fire, and you said your adrenaline was pumping. What are you thinking though as you walk up to it?
Lo único que estaba pensando al principio fue acercarme al vehículo, hacer mi resumen de la escena, ver si hay otra persona alrededor, si hay otro vehículo involucrado, si acaso está otra persona parada fuera del vehículo que posiblemente sea de ese vehículo para ver si hay alguien más o no. No había ninguna otra persona, me acerqué al vehículo y es cuando la vi a ella y lo único que pude pensar y reaccionar era tengo que sacar a esta muchacha de dentro del vehículo ahora en este momento.
Do you want to do your question real fast?
Yeah. Would you describe your actions as instinctual or based upon training?
Mis acciones yo las describo como ser una una mezcla de ser de instinto y de entrenamiento. Recibimos un poco de entrenamiento en la academia y también en otros entrenamientos fuera de la academia, de cómo hay formas de poder romper un vidrio, diferentes herramientas, pero también era más de instinto, porque en ese momento no me reaccioné y dije, tengo que sacarla ya, antes de que se haga peor la situación.
And also, if someone is in this situation, what kind of tips would you give that person if they're in a car that's maybe on fire and trying to get out?
So, algunas cosas que yo le diría a alguien que esté en esa situación es que hay diferentes maneras de tratar de salir. Lo mejor es respirar profundo. Si están las llamas adentro del vehículo y humo, entonces trata de no respirar. Bájate lo más que puedas. Trata de patear el vidrio de enfrente a que se salga. Si no funciona, trata de abrir la puerta. Si no funciona eso, entonces trata de buscar algo con lo que puedas romper uno de los vidrios para poder salir. Típicamente si tomas algo que tiene una punta afilada, puedes darle en una de las esquinas de uno de los vidrios y eso frecuentemente lo que hace es romper el vidrio y eso con eso puedes salir.
You also mentioned that you got the chance to, when you went up to the car, you heard the lady screaming for help, and she had said that she thought there was another person in the car. There ultimately was not.
Mhm.
So knowing that you were able, through your actions, to save the person who was there, you said you've gotten a chance to step back and really think about it.
Sí, he reflexionado mucho desde que pasó esta situación. Inicialmente lo único que yo pensaba es que, wow, o sea, estuve ahí y la pude sacar. Estoy agradecido de que la pude sacar. Pero pienso y lo único que puedo decir es que estoy agradecido que Dios me puso en el lugar correcto, en el tiempo correcto. Él es el que me dio las fuerzas para poder reaccionar y enfocarme y poder hacer mi trabajo para poder sacarla y salvarla de las llamas.
And, you know, you said to your point, she had mentioned to you, you know, that she had just lost somebody. And you said, knowing that this family didn't have to go through a second burial, a second funeral, you've taken solace in that.
Sí, una de las cosas que ella me expresó en la escena es que recientemente habían perdido a una persona muy cercana a ella en su vida. Y eso pues, me da sentimiento, ¿verdad? Porque agradezco que gracias a lo que pasó esa noche, estuvo en peligro, pero pude rescatarla y a causa de eso su familia no tiene que pasar por otro funeral o ir a sepultar a otro familiar y pasar por dolor antes de las fechas navideñas.
The last one that I remember asking is, you know, you have people who are calling you a hero for your actions that night. How do you respond to that?
Hay gente que me dice que soy un héroe. Yo lo que digo es que si quieren me pueden decir eso. Yo pienso que yo nomás soy otra persona que Dios me dio la habilidad de poder ayudar y hacer lo que se tenía que hacer en ese momento para poder hacer lo correcto y salvar una vida. Yo no me veo como un héroe, nomás una persona simple haciendo su trabajo.
I'm pretty confident that was everything, but is there anything else that I missed that you want to mention on this portion? Anything that you guys remember that I asked that I didn't ask again?
I believe we have everything as well.
Anything else?
Nope, that's all I have.
All right, we appreciate it, thank you so much. I think we're gonna, I don't know if anybody else needs like cutaways of the patches or the name tag or anything.
No, now that you mention it, just a tag. I'm just gonna get this right here.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that was around the same questions for both.
Yeah,
I
it was
feel
pretty
like-
much the same thing.
Okay,